Morning everyone, how you doing? It's Monday again, and let me just show you what's going on. A bit of decorating, a bit of woodwork, little bits and pieces really. Let me turn you around and give you a little tour of the job. So, got to do some boxing in here. Box these pipes in, down to the ground. Probably just coming down past the light switch there. Create a little return there. Fit some skirtings, finish some off. This job was a previous extension that they had done in this house, little kitchen extension, and a bit of reconfiguration. So I'm just touching now, just doing bits and pieces. So skirtings there, bit of architrave around, total redecoration. So all the walls are going in white. This bench, this MDF bench, is going to be a navy blue. Yep, all navy. I've got the paint here. I think they got me a Valspar navy paint. So we'll see how that goes on. I'm going to spray this bench. I think I've got a little sprayer. I'll give this a spray up. And then more of the same in here. Let's turn the light on here. I think this little downstairs toilet all needs a load of prep and stuff like that, and that is going to be this colour, whatever this is here. So I think all this has got to be redecorated. There's quite a bit of filling to be done in here as well, and I think they want some sort of unit put on the back wall there. So a nice little job, and it's literally just across the road from me. So first thing I'm going to do is just give all these walls a bit of a nib off, a little bit of filling, and then get these walls and ceilings coated up there with a bit of white. Just the first coat, and then I'll get on with the woodwork after that. Here's my fence I put up a couple of years ago. Did all the fence down that side and round the back with a back gate. So I did all that. Actually, I did next door's fence as well. Did I? Yeah, I did. I think I just replaced panels there. I can't bloody remember now. But yeah, so plenty going on in here. And I've got a couple of little friends I've had to lock out. There's one of them there. Not too happy, been booted out of the kitchen. So that's me for the next few days really. Yeah, it's all good. Nice easy job to ease me back into the week. And I don't know what I've got coming up after that really. Got some plastering, got some odds and sods. I've not booked too much in too tightly. I've come back from holiday a few weeks ago, and I'm still in this mode where I don't want to book myself in like so strict that I haven't got like a day allowance here and there. So a lot of people I'm saying, yeah, I'll get you done, but I'll get in touch with you nearer a time. Whereas previously I'd had my diary filled in so tightly that if a job did overrun by a day, the knock-on effect would be like, I've got to tell them, and then that's going to knock on, because I know exactly when I'm plastering, I know exactly to almost to the quarter of an hour what time I'm going to be walking out the door. So if I book a job in for 4 days, I know it's 4 days. So I would book myself in so tight that I wouldn't give myself any wiggle room really. But I haven't done that since I've been back off holiday, so I'm just still in a bit of a chilled mode. So yeah, don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I better get on. I'll go and get some bits and pieces out and have a little rub down of these walls. Now, if you haven't seen these are really good. These little Merca kits, like a Merca handy kit it's called. And with it, you get the little handheld thing, which is like a little Velcro pad on it, which holds the sandpaper. And that's got all holes at the bottom of it, obviously, to take up the dust. And then you just get this hose with it, and that just sits into like a normal Henry or whatever other vacuum cleaner you got. And then that goes in there, obviously. And then when you switch the Hoover on and you're sanding, it all goes in. I mean, I've got the other things. I've got like a Festool dust extractor, you know, with sanders and all that. But sometimes you don't need all that noise and all that sort of stuff to carry about with you. So 40 quid I think these are, and they're really good. And this is so flat, it really sticks to the wall when you're sanding down with it. Really good, so I recommend them highly if you're into a bit of decorating, but you don't want to spend 500 quid on a Festool dust extractor. This is just as good, honestly. It's obviously it's manually done, but it's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And it's a good sander without the hose at all. You know, if you just want a sander, a good flat hand sander, it's brilliant for that as well. So someone's filled in around this pipe there and it's a little bit wobbly. So there's no way I'm just going to put filler over that. So what I'm going to do is, oh actually that's being boxed in, so I haven't got to worry. Scrap that. So I didn't plaster any of this. This is previous stuff, and they've gone over the frames a bit. So before I put the architrave on, I'm just going to run down the frames with one of these scrapers, just to clean the edges up really. It's much easier to get the plaster off now than once you've got the architrave on and you've only got like 1/4 inch to sort of try and scrape off. So just run down it with something like that and that'll just drag everything off. It'll be really good.
To get started, turn the computer on. Now type in the word load and press the enter key. The computer responds with an instruction to press the play button.
We started one step at a time making little interfaces for drum machines to run in time with sequencers. And everybody said, no one will ever want a drum machine to play with a sequencer. That's absurd.
He now types instructions into the computer about how it should juggle the notes it has remembered, and replay them in a semi-random fashion, speeding some up, slowing others down.
2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to sing some MC rhyme. The rhyme was there for many wet this rain. The rhyme was there for many wet this rain. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to sing some MC rhyme. The rhyme was there for many wet this rain. The rhyme was there for many wet this rain.
Now you've got the idea. Now you've got the idea. Now you've got the idea.
Let's do it!
There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it.
2 years ago, a friend of mine
That's just been stuck up there now on the foam. That will take nicely in a minute. I don't really want to start drilling through walls, especially after what happened to me last week with that pipe. And I've also put a little wedge there to keep it off of that little pipe there, because I don't want that weight of that timber obviously sitting on any copper there. So that is just off of there, and that's got that little block there holding it up. So let's put the next one on down there, and then as soon as the foam's gone a bit, I can get some plasterboard on that, and the plasterboard will go down to the floor there. So again, once that's screwed on, it will take the weight of that off, because the board will be sitting on the floor, and the board floats past the face of them pipes. So once that's all on, then I can start thinking about some skirting around there then. So we only want our bit that's going to go on here to come project out as far as this. So we know that that's coming out 3 inches. So we'll make 3 inches mark off the corner there. All standard stuff, but if you've never done it, you know, it's just a helpful little tip really. Because you could put the wood there thinking you're just putting it somewhere sensible, but obviously then your plasterboard is going to go off at an angle, so you want to come out the same width as that. So 3 inches there, 3 inches there. Let's get the laser on that. That's it, so the laser's on the marks. Now I can just put a little V. I always like to do a little V so I know that the point is exactly on the line of the laser there. That's it. Now I can just do a quick line up that now. Just for a double check. That's it. Now I can turn the laser off, and let's get that foamed up now. When you do put boxing in on and you're doing the stud work, obviously always remember to leave enough gap for the plasterboard to go in. So that foam stuff, this pseudo foam, I know it says plasterboard adhesive, but it will stick almost anything really. And it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's been on there 5 minutes and you'd have to really tug on that to get that off. Same with that one as well. I mean, that saves you from having to drill plugs and screws into walls. Obviously, if you're doing anything with a lot of weight attached to it, you do that. But for a simple boxing in, it's holding a bit of plasterboard, so there's no weight on that at all. But it just eliminates all that having to drill and plug walls, which is never a good thing if you don't know what's behind them, as I found out last week. But anyway, so yeah, they're ready now just for me to cut the plasterboard and fix that to it, and that'll be perfect. Now before you all tell me little tips and tricks of cutting plasterboard, I do know them all, and I know this one. But I hate the feel of the plasterboard against my finger, it makes me go funny, so that's why I don't do it. I'd always use the straight edge. So it's been a fairly easy day. I've just finished this boxing in and I will skim. That was like an afterthought because there were some little pipes there with turn-off valves on them. And I thought I will box them in because the chances of them ever needing them on heating pipes really. So I put a little L on it, so I'll skim that in tomorrow. And then I'll carry on with my woodwork. I've just put my architraves up. I'll finish off the skirtings tomorrow. And also they want some panelling on this wall, so I'm going to have to draw that out and set it out and give them like a bit of a design, see what they want. And then it's decorating here then, so I've got quite a bit to do. Decorating here, obviously decorating in there. I think they want all this repainted as well. So it's quite a lot. There's easily a week in here for me, so. Doors had a prime undercoat there. That'll all have a prime undercoat tomorrow. Loads going on, loads to do.